want to welcome you back to Black Site. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Native Americans receiving $31 billion in American Rescue Fund. That was the stimulus bill that was passed by the Democrats in Congress. Senate passes the largest investment in Native programs in the history of America. More than $31 billion heading to Native communities. U.S. Senator Brian Schatz, chairman of the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, helped secure $31.2 billion in dedicated funding for tribal governments and Native community, composing of the largest investment in the history for Native programs. The new funding will deliver immediate relief for hard-hit Native American families and support tribal nations as they build a bridge toward economic recovery. The Native Americans in America, this last election, voted for Donald Trump with 51%. The Native Americans basically have I repeat, no political power in this community. I believe they have very few legislators, very few congressmen, no senators at all. But they received $31.2 billion in reparations. And nothing black people received during this American Rescue Program that was just for ADOS and FBA. Now I want you to listen to this part and see how the money was distributed. $20 billion for tribal governments to combat COVID-19 and stabilize community safety net programs through Treasury, state, local, and coronavirus relief fund. Look at this money. $2.3 billion for COVID vaccines, $2.2 billion for third parties, $600 million for health facilities, construction, sanitation, $500 million for clinical health service and purchase preferred care, $420 for mental health and behavioral programs, $140 for improved health, IT, and telehealth access, $84 million for urban Indian health programs, $10 million for potable water delivery, Native American health care systems, $20 million set aside for Papa Oak and Native American healthcare systems within the community centers funding and human resources and service administration, $14.248 billion for HUD tribal Native housing program, $1.1 billion for Native education programs, including Bureau of Indian Education schools, tribal education agencies, tribal colleges and universities, Native Hawaiian education programs, and Alaska Native education programs. $1 billion for Native American families, $900 million for Bureau of Indian Affairs, $600 million for Native communities, critical economic and infrastructure, and $20 million for migrant impact on COVID-19 on Native language, $19 million for Native community efforts to combat domestic violence. $31.2 billion. They didn't have to march. They didn't even need a program where they had to sit back and take a look if they deserve to get $31 billion. They got $31 billion. The Asians just got $50 million for Asian hate crime. The illegal aliens, Joe Biden administration is spending $60 million a day on illegal immigrants and their children at the border. Illegal immigrants in New York State, they set up a $2.1 billion fund for them to get stimulus money. And they can receive up to $15,000 in one set payment. The lowest they can get is $3,200. All you got to show is that you lived in New York State or worked here. We got over 10,000 politicians in America. We got the Congressional Black Caucus. We got a so-called woman of color, whatever the hell you want to call her, as vice president. And can anyone tell you what we received in the stimulus package? That's when you receive a large amount of money, like they just gave the Native Americans. The Native Americans got land that is theirs. They got the casinos. Now Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer just dropped $31 billion into their communities. What did they drop into your community? See, these people don't even care no more. They're openly saying, we don't care. We ain't giving y'all shit. Y'all live like freaking animals in the hood. We gonna take care of everybody else. And if we got a few crumbs left over, we might give you something. And all we got is the James Clyburns of the world. When asked by the media, do you want anything from Joe Biden? No, I don't want nothing from Master. And what has Joe Biden given us? Not a damn thing. Crying about us not voting. Talking about Jim Crow voting. I don't give a damn about no voting, because let me tell you something. The Native Americans voted for Trump, and they just got 31 billion. The Hispanics voted at the largest number ever for President Trump. And look what they getting today. And they damn near impossible gonna get amnesty. That means another 22 to 30 million Hispanics are going to become legal citizens and possibly rule over us. Black people, we got to know the game that's being run on us. Dr. Claude Anderson said that we are the donkey. We carry everything for everyone else, but receive nothing for our hard work. You have heard nothing about reparations. The Indians just received reparations. Nobody said a damn thing about it. But one thing the Democrats and Republicans got in common at the top, you talk about giving black people reparations, you'll get that look on your face. We ain't giving y'all shit. Not only is they going to receive this money, but when the budget come out, they still receive money every year. So the Native Americans have just got a boondoggle of money that can help their communities for the next 15 or 20 years. But what did we get? For 87% of our vote, none but a pat on the head and a grin for Master Joe. If this is what politics is for black people, I don't want it. $31 billion. There is no investment in the black community. When they talk about this so-called infrastructure bill, let me tell you something. When that money goes to these cities, they go into a black hole. They ain't going towards your community. If you don't have something designated just for you and your name, that money will go somewhere else. We have too many politicians that's not working for us. They working for Master. And they will see us destroy in the near future. Man, we can't live like this. We just can't do it. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.